you traveled from whole US and you came here. So thank you so much for joining us into our inauguration party.
You're welcome.
So I just wanted to have your feedback that how you felt here in my city. How was the inauguration party? How was the team you met working for you? So can you please explain a little bit about your trip to India and especially in our city, Varanasi?
Sure. Well, let me start by the trip that you made to the trip that you made to the U.S. So I live in the Southwest. I actually live near Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Naveen was in El Paso, and so I drove down to El Paso and we met just down there at a hotel. And he invited me to the grand opening, or the ribbon cutting that they just had. And when he started, and I'd been working with Naveen and his team for over 2 years at this point, and he told me something that I didn't know, which was really sort of opened my eyes to an opportunity for us as U.S. citizens or Americans working with offshore companies. And they're based in the city known as Varanasi, which is sort of in the eastern part of India. It's sort of east of Delhi. And he mentioned that, he reminded me rather, that in Indian culture, the relationship that an Indian has with their family is almost the most important thing that they have. And so many Indian families have 3 or 4 generations living in the same home. And frankly, I always had kind of an American view of that. I always thought that was kind of a financial thing, meaning they're just trying to save money. But I realized that it's a cultural thing, that it's a way that the family helps the younger generation. It's the way that the younger generation helps the older generation. It's a very different concept than what we have. And so he then went on to tell me that he had this vision of creating a Salesforce consulting agency in Varanasi rather than in one of the big cities like Delhi or Mumbai. And he described to me that what happens with most IT companies is that people leave their hometown, like Varanasi and many others throughout India, and they move to Delhi or they move to Mumbai, and there they get an apartment, they're not with their family. And he mentioned to me that that's a very expensive setup for an individual programmer or developer or project manager or whatever. And so the economics basically are roughly that you're spending about 70 to 90,000 rupees per year to live in a city like Delhi or Mumbai, and versus something equivalent to maybe 20 or 30,000 in a place like Varanasi or a hometown. So that was a big kind of thing for me. And so when Naveen invited me to come to the ribbon cutting, I accepted that. And I've never been to India before, and I don't travel that much, and so that was a big step for me. But what I learned through that was I got a deeper understanding of what the vision of allowing people to stay in their hometown really means. So I spent time at Naveen's home with his grandmother and with his mother and his sisters and with his wife, and they'll be having kids soon. And I really got a picture of what the generational lifestyle looks like. And what really struck me was, as a Salesforce consulting company that works with a lot of, over the years we've worked with a lot of different offshore companies, I realized that we have never had any turnover with our team working with APEC and Kloudcodey. And I didn't really think about that much until I was here doing the ribbon cutting, meeting with the team, having dinner with everybody, seeing how they live in their homes, riding on a motorcycle in crazy traffic. It's a very different lifestyle than what we're used to. But the reason I wanted to share that with you is because if you're looking at other companies in India to work with, the model that Naveen has developed is a significant differentiator. It has radically improved the quality of the work that we get. It's radically reduced the amount of turnover, and the communication that we have with the team is very good because we keep having the same conversation with the same people. Meaning we're not talking to different people all the time, and that's one of the downsides of the bigger city IT model, is that with some of the bigger companies that we've worked with, for example, we had a consulting company in Mumbai, and we were constantly dealing with new people. And it was we were sort of insulated from it. Like, we really didn't know what was happening. It was just sort of normal. We didn't think much about it. But the comparison between that and working with the same team of people for the last 2 years, who have a whole larger group of team members that support them in terms of skill sets, has radically improved. I just wanted to say, Naveen, thank you for your hospitality and for inviting me. I hope that this conversation helps other customers really get a deeper understanding of what a partnership with a firm in India looks like, and is there a difference between working with a larger firm necessarily in one of the bigger cities versus your growing company, which isn't small by any means. I mean, at the time of this video, you've got 150 employees, and you soon have 500, from what I understand.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you so much for coming, and it was really a pleasure hosting you here in India. And thank you again that you came to our inauguration party. So I'm not going to ask any feedback for the team, and because you are here, and that is the feedback, I guess, is that you traveled from US and you generally do not used to travel, and if you travel for us, I think that shows the feedback for our team. So thank you so much, Steve, again, and definitely come again with your family. And definitely once you come again, we are 50, and meanwhile you'll be planning your trip again. Definitely we are going to have more than 150 or around 200 employees.
Right.
So you'll see lots of more faces again. So thank you so much again, Steve.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome.